Hey guys, how you doing? So, the bells. That's my signal, my trigger. How is everyone? Midweek? How's your week going? How have you been? Are you achieving your goals? So, welcome to the Fitzy Show. I'm Fitzy. I talk about my sort of comeback journey in the show and what tools, tips and hacks I can help people with after and during that journey. So welcome. So what today is about, Billy, how are you? How you doing? I'm going to ask everyone a question. When's the last time you were in the zone? And what were you doing? And what did that feel like? Just repeat that. When's the last time you were in the zone? What were you doing? And what did that feel like? So I'll give you an example. Michelle, how are you, man? I'll give you an example of what I mean by that. What does in the zone mean? What does in the flow? Peter Bleach, how are you? Over in Portugal. How many degrees is it there? It's 15 here. What's it there? So yeah, in the zone, in flow, and effortless flow. So what I mean by that is when you're operating for a period, whether it be a sporting event, a work presentation, a conversation, anything, where it feels effortless and you're absolutely smashing it, you know, where you're absolutely nailed it. You've done or achieved everything you want to achieve. When's the last time that happened with you and what were you doing? And how did it feel like? So I'll give you an example of mine. The way I see it is about aligning mind, body and spirit. Aligning all mind, body and spirit together. Where you just feel completely aligned is the word. Completely aligned, completely efficient. It feels effortless. And then I'll give you a live example of when that happened with me. So it's when I did this boxing challenge a year ago. So a charity boxing event. Ross, how are you? Charity boxing event last year. Now, the old me, I was going to say would have shit myself. I was shitting myself anyway, so that's fine. There's a tick. But the old me would have been obsessed with the 8-week training period, which is what the prep period for it is. The old me would have been obsessed with physical training, and I would have probably trained myself in the 8 weeks to extreme. And do you know what? By the time I stepped up to have that one fight, which is what it is, 8 weeks training and one fight, I would have been exhausted and I would have been, you know, actually physically broken when I've stepped up to the event. However, my example of flow when I did it last year was sort of 5 weeks training. I trained physically for probably half of it, let's say 3 to 4 weeks. I smashed it, like, in terms of conditioning. I made sure that my cardio, my conditioning and my sort of physical alignment was on point in the first 4 weeks of the training. And actually what I did on the second half of the training, James, how you James, how you doing? Just talking about in the zone, in flow, James Boardman. So the way I did it this time, 4 weeks of physical training, got myself on point. And actually the second 4 weeks, I switched to mental training, getting myself mentally prepared for that boxing event. And you know what? It worked like a treat. I basically took myself through a series of sort of visualizations and lots of meditation and making sure come the event after 8 weeks of training, I was totally on point and I was totally mentally and physically aligned and I was fucking ready. I was ready to, you know, that opponent was going to have to really step up to beat me. I felt, so going to describe how it felt, you know, sort of with all the senses. So it was an event in a nightclub, big event, you know, the old me would have been a bit daunted. But you know what? Because I was physically, mentally and emotionally prepared for this, I could taste victory, I could feel victory, I could hear victory. I was so focused, I was laser focused, yeah? And my opponent was half my age, which was quite ironical, quite hilarious. So he was only 25, 26. I'm obviously 47, I was last year. And do you know what? So it's a 3-round event, 3 times 3 minutes, which doesn't sound a lot, but you know what? After the first round, I looked across and he was fucking broken. He was gone. I could see it in his eyes. He was looking down. He was in his corner. He was. You know, the head guard was all twisted to the side, and you know, he's a big lad. He was like nearly 2 stone heavier than me, younger. You know, should be fitter. But you know what? Because I was mentally prepared, because I'd aligned mentally and physically, and this is what I'm getting at: effortless flow in the zone. And yeah, so. Should I tell you the result? Yeah, I'll tell you the result. I fucking smashed him, you know. But it wasn't about physical violence. It was about just being the very best I could possibly be, you know. And I was gonna leave it all in that boxing ring, no matter what. You know, I'd worked too hard. I'd come too far in that training session, mentally and physically. Now, the reason why I'm covering this is about tapping into our higher self and tapping into the very best version of ourselves and aligning mentally, physically and emotionally and bringing it all together. So if you want to learn more about that, there's a link above or below. Join my free 5-day challenge from the 7th to the 11th of June. So that's from next Monday. And that'll be one of the topics we'll be covering about mental and physical alignment and showing up as your very best self. All right. So have a good day, guys. Take care. Enjoy.